Welcome again to the Dawn of War Soulstorm replay, to a Dawn of War Soulstorm replay, should I say. I'm Damien Dudovich, and yeah, it's going to be a 3 versus 3 on the Case Solution map. It just happened to be the replay that was on after the other replay that I showed you, so it should be an interesting game actually in this one. As you can see, as Lightman 2009 playing as Dark Elder, and also got FF Cloud as the Specimens, Master Kanzul as the Orcs, me saying I can take something or other. We've got Schnat as the Necrons at top right, and First Play then Cry as the Orcs, and then finally we've got Smold Vodka as the Specimens. So yeah, we'll see how things will turn out. These are some old games that... Indeed. So I don't quite remember what exactly happens, which is pretty good really. It means we'll be all in suspense, I'm sure, at least until the outcome looks a bit more obvious. So yeah, see what happens. Got pretty standard builds so far. First Play going for a generator after the barracks, pretty standard stuff. Me going for a generator after the barracks as well. Well, Hall of Blood, we'll call it a barracks anyway, basically it's a barracks structure. Damn, I got something by freaking eye, which is, damn it, not freaking helping. There we go. And yeah, we'll just see what everyone's doing. So yeah, pretty standard builds so far. FF Clan going with an early Force Commander, Master Khan's going with an early Big Mech, and a couple of Sluggers. So 3 Sluggers going for a bit of a melee heavy build to start off with. Schnat's going with an early Summoning Core actually. 1 minute, yeah, 1 minute 40 seconds in. Yeah, it is pretty early actually. But why not? I suppose allow Necron Warriors and all to teleport pretty quickly to Necron buildings, so it should come in handy. First Play then Cry. It looks like he's also going for a 2 Sluggers and Big Mech maybe? No, he doesn't have a Big Mech coming out. He doesn't have one on the field yet either, so I'm not really sure what he's intending to do with his extra requisition and power. We'll see what happens. Small Vodka on the other hand is actually going to be quick teching. As for me, am I going to be quick teching Nupe instead, going for the early Archon squad with 2 Incubi, so Mandrakes as well. So yeah, going for a bit of a melee-centric build. We'll see how that will end up. So yeah, the Scout Marine's getting knocked around, managing to get them to stand still for a few seconds, and there we go, at least managing to knock one over, but yeah, unfortunately the second one just escaped. And this listing post will probably be upgraded as well while I'm trying to attack it, so... oh well, what can you do? Yeah, a bit of harassment in any case by Dark Elder, pretty much name of the game as them, and there we go, I'm actually going to be retreating my Archon squad. Maybe it's, well, maybe not a bit premature. I mean, my Mandrakes can come in to do a bit of damage as well. Oh, that's not something like that, so... yeah, speaking of which, I'll be staying in tier 1 for a while longer. We've got warriors coming out. It looks like I'll actually be completely reinforcing them rather than getting a second warrior squad out. We'll see how well that goes. A couple of skirmish... and yeah, we've got a couple of skirmishes happening here and there as well. So some friendly orcs of First Plan the Cry wandering around, just doing a bit of scouting, maybe trying to do a bit of harassment. Oh, actually, you might be able to harass this strategic point. It really needs to get... listing post on it, but thankfully it looks like the Force Commander for the Cloud, I think, is going to be able to ward him off, I think. And we've got Shooter Boys teleporting in for Mr. Kanzul. He's actually going to be engaging the Slugger Boys at close range. I would not really recommend that with the current numbers that we're seeing of squad members, even though Shooter Boys, you know, aren't that good at melee. With the attached Big Mech here, and of course with the Force Commander being able to make a mincemeat out of them. Looks like, okay, I'm trying to do a bit of harassment here, and then unfortunately, yeah, up against a listing post is going to make things a little bit tricky, to say the least. So probably going for tier 2. Yep, getting a plasma generator, so probably looking to take up. Yep, going to tier 2 right now. Necron Schnat is not quite a tier 2. He did go for the early summoning call though. Looks like First Play the Cry finally getting his Big Mech. Not really sure why he didn't get it in the first place. But, oh well, what can you do? And Mr. Cuzzle, what is he doing? Yeah, looks like he's taking up with more war banners, pile of guns as well, and Cloud also taking up. So here we go, finally going to be seeing a bit more of a concerted push by the combined Orc / Space Marine forces. At the same time, we'll actually have my own guys coming in with, with Piercing Vision to be used against the Gretchen. It's a bit of a waste actually of my squad sending up against the Gretchen like that. I really should have just sent my warrior squad after them, but oh well, what can you do? Unfortunately, my Mandrake's actually managing to do a fair amount of damage, and there we go. My Archon squad is eventually coming back up, which actually lost one of the Incubi, which kind of sucks, so we should be retreating them. to say the least. And there we go, yep. Become cloaked once again, so I might be able to take out... Might have been able to take out Listening Post or the War Banner if I had concentrated my Archon squad on doing so, but yeah, unfortunately, as you can see, I wasted on getting him to chase a Gretchen's squad around, and I didn't even get him to kill off the Gretchen's squad, which kind of sucks. I should have just got the warriors to do that, but oh well, what can you do? Looks like the attack by the Big Mech and the Space Marine Force Commander failed, although they did manage to preserve most of their forces by the looks of it, but yeah, as you can see, Necrons do have a pretty formidable defense setup. I'm surprised that they haven't actually upgraded the Obelisk as well, actually, just to, you know, just to make sure that's the opponents can't break through it. Oh, speaking of which, we actually do have a bit of a sneaky builder scarab harassment going on here. Well, the big harassing once they actually start building buildings. So we'll see what they can build. They can only build like a Gauss turret. Huh, interesting. So is that just to guard an alternate approach to the base? Not really too sure, given that all approaches to this top base lead, you know, to the same entrance. But anyway, so I'm not really sure if Schnat intends to build a listening post. Not listening post, a Gauss turret somewhere around here. Not really too sure, because I can't just build a plasma generator there. They had to have Necron Warriors teleport, so that's now be perhaps a little bit overpowered. Okay, so there we go, we've got some upgrades happening here. Heavy bolters for Cloud. It probably should have gone for a mixture of heavy bolters and missile launchers, just given the mixture of not bad. The mixture of stuff that they'll be likely to counter. Unfortunately, my guys, unfortunately getting I'm really set my warriors a bit too far forward. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I sent them pretty much straight into the middle of those sluggers, just about. And unfortunately, as you can see, my forces getting caught out there. But at the same time, though, we do have... Oh my god, they're actually going to be completely upgraded with heavy bolters. I certainly would not recommend that, even if you didn't think you're going to face vehicles. But in any case, there we go. My track's actually going invisible as well. And I think my Archon squad unfortunately got taken out. Unfortunately, my warriors and many of my mandrakes managing to survive. And that's at least buying time for my ally to lay down some withering fire on Listening Post, and yeah, now this War Banner as well, so not too shabby indeed. Also do have a contingent of Necron Warriors moving out to the safety of their Gauss turret, which has now been upgraded, and Obelisk, which has not been upgraded. They'll probably be intercepted by these Orc forces. Should be interesting to see how that will work out. So, unfortunately, I am on a bit of a back foot myself, though, with my Archon score. Looks like that's been taken out. Got the Homunculus Laboratory, so going to get Demonic Corruption from Mandrakes, and seeing as I'm going to be pretty much focusing on them by the looks of it, and why not, since I've got so many of them. Attack is going to continue by my ally here, and at the same time, oh, that's not bad, beyond a bit of damage to that Necron Lord, but yep, here come the reinforcing Orcs. So yeah, looks like Master Khan should want to get out of there, to say the least. Although, wait a minute, hangs around long enough, we might actually be able to get a little pincer by Cloud here coming in to offer a bit of help actually against these tank busters. So tank busters actually coming in. Doesn't look like anyone actually has come out of any vehicles or anything like that just yet. And a very nice little solar pulse ability being used by the Necron Lord. They're definitely showing that FF Cloud probably should be going with with some sort of transport. Well, actually, you only get one transport as the Space Marines. But anyway, look, they myself even laying down the. Oh wow, that was actually very effective, laying down a torch ram to slow down those bastards a bit, and there we go, Scourge is also coming into a bit of damage. Primarily upgrading them with Dark Lancers in case it was encountering vehicles, but yeah, as you can see, it looks like Small Vodka instead is going for the triple hero build, Librarian, Chaplain and Force Commander. At the same time though, to have a very desperate attack happening here, we have combined forces of Orcs and Space Marines. And a nice little cough there. Yeah, coming in, so maybe it was a bit of a gamble by FF Cloud going for all heavy bolters, but it actually seems to be paying off. We're not really seeing any vehicles at all from anyone, which is quite amazing actually. Not even a couple of cursory destroyers from the Necron player, since you can build them without having a requisite building, like just about all the other races. But there you go, everyone's taking up instead by Visible Mandrakes and all that coming in. Looks like we've got Poison Blade research as well, and ouch, Grey Knight's also being upgraded with an incredibly annoying knockabout ability, but hopefully we should be able to take them out with relative ease. Well, Grey Knight's pretty solid melee troop, but the thing is they're not really meant to go toe to toe with regular melee troops, they're meant to go toe to toe with demons and such. They're not really too bad against regular troops as well, especially with an attached Chaplain. Speaking of Grey Knights, Chaplains, do have another such squad coming in to do a bit of damage. Wow, okay. Even got a couple of mega armor knobs coming in, although it looks like, yep, they're at a slow speed, getting slowed down even further by the Chaplain's War Shout ability onto Shabby, and there we go, thankfully I managed to force back my Space Marine counterpart on the right side. Probably should be helping with the attack actually. Looks like the attack's starting to falter a bit. And yeah, really, FF Cloud could really do with a freaking transform. And this is absolutely, absolute proof that you really should be using a transform. But oh well, what can you do? Should definitely be retreading at the very least. They definitely don't want going up against Mega Armor Knobs even with the attached Big Mech. Look at that, the Mega Armor Knobs are as big as the freaking Big Mech. They seem to do about as much damage as all for that matter. Huh. Not so bad indeed. These guys for some reason decided to stay in ranged combat. Why not? And okay, yeah, also got the can't remember what it's called. It's like an energized ability. It gets the Mega Armor Knobs to move a bit faster, but at the same time it depletes their health at a pretty alarming rate actually. I can't remember if it's a toggled ability or whether or not
I wasn't listening.
or whether or not it goes for a certain amount of time, but there you go. So Scarab's still hanging around there, not really sure what they intend to accomplish. Also got a war truck, does have some crap in it, just new, and he's going to want to move pretty quickly though, the Gorse Tide has been upgraded. There we go, oh, never mind, actually I haven't been up. Oh no, yeah, they do have some stuff loaded, so knobs. Actually, I wonder if Mega Armor knobs can fit in war trucks, can't remember. It's been such a long time since I actually played as Orcs, I mostly played other races. In any case, there we go, nice little action happening here, very desperate use of orbital bombardment ability by the Force Commander for a small vodka. Also even got also got the Psycho Acquisition ability going on this time by my fellow Space Marine. But yeah, the orbital bombardment action doing a bit of damage there. Unfortunately, FF Cloud leaving quite a few of his troops in its path. It does have the Word of the Emperor ability being used by the Librarians, so not too shabby there. And we've got bloody Terminators spawning in as well. Mandrakes of mine are suffering immensely to say the least, but yeah, my guys mostly managing to hang back though. Scourges and all that managing to do damage, even had what appeared to be the Maledictum, Crucible Malediction ability being used there. And you've got bloody Warriors going straight into the thick of it. Assault Terminators also jumping in, I think they've just teleported in, they seem to pause for a few seconds, but they unfortunately are getting taken out. Even got Witches and all that coming in, more Assault Terminators teleporting in. Oh no, those are my allies, Assault Terminators teleporting in from FF Cloud, so thank God for that. You've got a Dreadnought coming in. Thankfully, our Scourge is upgraded with Dark Lances, so we should be able to take out the Dreadnoughts pretty damn quickly. Arcus got all that being quite a pain. Now, see, I reckon this is probably going to be a bit of a foregone conclusion. So as you can see, we have seen a bit of back and forth action, but yeah, it's just rather bizarre that we haven't seen many vehicles being used. We did have a couple of gambles being made, especially by, what's his name, the FL guy, FF Cloud, going with just anti-infantry weapons when he went to tier 2. It's a pretty risky thing to do. If the opponent decides to go for vehicles, then, indeed, then yeah, you're going to have that much of a harder time going up against them. So there you go, he made it work thankfully, and there we go, now we're basically reaping the rewards of that little gamble. There also a nice little graphical glitch there. I don't know if that'll show up on the video, but there you go. Pretty sure it did that on the old computer as well actually, kind of ridiculous. Oh well. In fact, I'm pretty certain it did that on the old computer. Oh, and speaking of which, oh, very nice little use of the combat drugs ability there. It actually does affect it does affect friendly units as well, it's actually affecting the Terminators, which for some reason are actually dedicating their energies to freaking decapturing that point. And thankfully it did manage to get rid of that burner bomb just before it got set off as well, which just was because we did have quite a few troops and all that. Not bad, quite a few troops in its blast radius. Also an interesting use of the orbital bombardment ability, could have been used maybe a little bit further up like this, but oh well, what can you do? We've got bloody flash kits with an attached Warm was trying to do a bit of damage there, so not too shabby indeed. We're basically going to be cleaning up the enemy forces from here on out, so we could do a bit of better macro though in terms of FF Cloud sending his troops out of melee with a Dreadnought for example. Wow, actually a couple of Dreadnoughts coming with a small vodka. Using the Word of the Emperor ability though, thank God for that, but he really needs to watch out. These infantry are going to do next to no damage while the Dreadnoughts have got them in close combat. Interesting actually, the small vodka getting a nice little surround there. We've got a reinforcing Dreadnought by FF Cloud, but actually could do with a few Land Spitter Tempest. That would really come in handy, just to snipe these Dreadnoughts with their missile launchers while, you know, staying out of the range of their melee claws and all that. But what can you do? We even got a Soulstorm ability actually being used to me, doing damage to these infantry, which is just basically just flying around. Really, it's kind of funny, really. Oh god, following the troops, so they're going to be taking crap loads of damage. It doesn't look like they've got fighting juice either, and yeah, they're basically all going to be pretty much ready to die, really. Flash kids especially don't have too much health. Unfortunately, we are being forced to retreat, so yeah, unfortunately not being able to make full use of the Soulstorm ability. What can you do? In the meantime, we actually do have... Ouch, is that... Yep, that's a real monolith, and it's cloaked. Holy crap-a-moly. Indeed. So yeah, wow, not too shabby indeed. We actually have a counter-attack by Schnat here. Looks like he's got the Force Commander with the Invisibility Shroud ability, and also Restored Monolith as well, so, and he's going to get Heavy Destroyers and all that, why not. So going to be quite a pain in the ass actually to take this army down. Cloaked army and all that, but oh well. See what happens. We might actually see a turning point here for the opponents. That would be interesting, especially with me wasting my Archon squad against them. I'm not sure what the hell I was thinking there. Do I have... I've got witches and that's about it really, so... Not really sure what happened to my troops there. They... I must have really mismicroed them. And look at that, I even got witches reinforcing there, despite the fact that some Archon squad's getting torn up. So if I'm not careful, my witches will get torn up as well. Thankfully though, I do start retreating there, so... There you go, probably I'll be helping out against the Necrons. We'll see what happens. There's a couple minutes to go, so I dare say we've probably got this one in the bag, but still quite a bit of the enemy infrastructure is remaining though, so they can rebuild, and they've got pretty significant armies remaining as well for that matter, speaking of which. Oh, splinter cannons as well, fancy. Fancy schminchy. That's going for, okay, leader health of course. And finally going for Dark Foundry to get vehicles. So, well, we're actually on the defensive, so we might actually see one last turnaround. We'll see what happens. I might just fast forward a bit around the keeping you on the suspense. And here we go, finally we got the attack beginning. No, not there, but looks like we have an attack beginning there. So Dreadnoughts coming in to try to take out my listing post. I've got witches coming in. I don't seem to have anything else. I seem to have lost my entire army just about except for freaking witches, which seems quite amazing actually. And we've even got freaking... oh my god. We've got freaking bombardment ability being used. They probably should just be retreating there. Thankfully though, FF Cloud is ready to help out, I think. But at the same time we do have orcs coming in to try to be used against them, so... Wow, if we actually lose from this, it would just be completely ridiculous. Yeah, well, we'll just have to see what will happen in a sort of shooty battle between the Space Marines and the Orcs, and yeah, looks like the Orc player is being forced back, which means hopefully FF Cloud can actually be used. Well, he can use his troops to, God forbid, actually, indeed, to actually help me out. This would be the perfect little pencil movement, or to help out his ally. That would be good as well, actually. Managing to keep Land Raider and the Predator Annihilator. I think that's the variant of the Predator with all las cannons alive. And even got a service repairing the Land Raider. Could do a service to repair the Land Raider as well, why not? Oh, not the Land Raider, the Predator as well as the Land Raider, we'll see what happens. And look at this nice little use of the Maledictum ability there, if I do say so. But yeah, unfortunately, my base will probably get torn apart by the looks of it. My Scourge is managing to retreat to a safe distance, trying to do damage against the Dreadnought. We're actually getting the Torches safe to actually repair this Cabal Fortress. But there we go. Lo and behold, thankfully, my ally is coming in sort of, there we go, finally coming in to pincer these guys in. So thank God for that. We even got what appears to be Psychic Position also being used, I think, by the looks of it, yes. And FF Cloud dropping a couple of Dreadnoughts, so to shabby finally I do actually get a Torture Save to start repairing this Cabal Fortress. So it's going to be quite a little free-for-all, only a couple of minutes to go. I'm not really sure how it can actually end so quickly. Unless if we decide to give up. In my opinion, well actually no, wait a minute, Necron armies. Oh shit. Actually yeah, the Necron armies are pretty fierce to say the least. So it's a Necron player who's probably going to be saving the day it seems. Either that or we're going to get a desync in the replay. Ah, no. Crap indeed. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But still though, we certainly fought pretty well. And what the hell, I think I might even commentate one more game actually. Hopefully I'll get a different map than the Casolution one. It's a nice little map, but really can only want to see it so many times in a row, to say the least. So there you go. Until next time, this has been Dame Dadvich, signing off. And welcome again to some Dawn of War Soulstorm action. My god, I'm actually commentating on 2 replays in a single day. It must be a miracle. So it's going to be a 1 versus 1 this time. Indeed, on the... interesting. Anyway, on the Battle Marshes map, I'm actually going for a couple of plasma generators and the Dark Foundry. So yeah, probably going for a bit of a vehicle-based build. Last joke, on the other hand, going for 3 Scout Marines, nothing too out of the ordinary there. Also went for an early Servitor before getting Scout Marines for faster, earlier production. So we'll see how each of our respective builds will pan out, especially with 2 early plasma generators by myself. It can be either a good build or a screwy build, depending on how I execute it. To see what happened. In any case, got an early Space Marine squad coming out from last joke. Plasma generator as well, so nothing too out of the ordinary. It's not getting sniper rifles or anything like that on Scout Marines. And in fact, I'm not really sure if I actually went random or if I actually decided to go purposely for Dark Elder for this particular matchup or not, since I did happen to go Dark Elder last time. What the hell? Well, let's see what happens. In any case, first Marine squad coming out, not much else happening there. First Hellion squad for me coming out, but look at that last joke. Actually deploying a heavy bolter turret, to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Same time my Torches Savior I'm going to be putting down listing posts as much as he can, and the Hellions, well, we'll see what kind of damage they'll be able to do. As yeah, so with Dark Elder you do get the option of going with Dark Foundry at the beginning, well basically the vehicle plant at the beginning, which does present its own opportunities and challenges, because that basically means you'll need to forgo the barracks, because you can't really afford to build both of those, to say the least. In any case, Hellion's going to be coming out for me and jumping, so just as well that my opponent didn't go for Assault Space Marines. Now that would have been a bit of a pain in the ass, to say the least. In any case, Hellion's coming in for me. My opponent is going to be sending in regular Space Marines, so it should be interesting to see what will happen. Oh, he's going to freaking decapture. That's not bad, not bad. So it's going to basically, a bit of a pain in the ass, and unfortunately my Hellions, as you can see, they're going to go straight into the heavy bolted turret. Thankfully I do manage to get them the hell out of there, although as you can see, my opponent managing to pretty much have everything captured, which kind of sucks. I probably could have teleported, or rather jumped them here to try to stop this listing post from going up, at least delaying it as much as possible. And there we go, now my Mandrakes are going up against these Space Marines alone. Unfortunately, as you can see, they're getting torn up just due to the sheer numbers of Space Marines that we're seeing there. So it kind of sucks, what can you do? Not really seeing much else coming out from my Dark Foundry, so yeah, the Space Marines doing a better job harassing than I am actually harassing them. So I have to see how that will pan out. Actually, I'm going with a Homunculus Laboratory all the way here. And the game's not even a third over, so it should be interesting to see what will happen. Also got freaking listing posts being upgraded as quickly as possible. I might be able to take out the Servitor, maybe? No, it's just going to get me to chase him, of course, god damn it. And, okay, there we go. Finally going for Reaver jet bikes, so thankfully, with Homunculus Laboratory built, you can also get a relatively early vehicle, and there's the Reaver jet bike, and interesting, actually going for the Mandrakes as well. So thankfully the Reaver jet bike should be coming in pretty quickly, because these Mandrakes are not going to be able to survive for very long, to say least. And there we go, my Hellions now starting to do a bit more worthwhile harassment, and my Mandrakes will just start to get torn apart. Fortunately, Reaver jet bike is going to be shooting up these Space Marines. I should have another Reaver jet bike coming out. Yep, I just should have been a bit more careful with that Mandrake squad though. But there we go, these Reaver jet bikes coming out should make things a little bit easier, but this listing post getting upgrade is going to make things a bit more difficult for me. Also got a Mightfoot actually being used. That's something I don't see too often by a Space Marine player. My Hellions on the other hand probably should be retreating. Fortunately, these Reaver jet bikes pretty damn fast little vehicles, so managing to actually, where the hell's my builder units? Did he get taken out? Oh, maybe he did. Oh no, he's here. Okay. So there we go. Fortunately, Reaver jet bikes can just essentially keep harassing these Space Marines until Kingdom Come. So thankfully, I do manage to pull off the build just barely, getting a third Reaver jet bike there, which is maximum you can get before squad cap. The vehicle cap kicks in, should I say? Well, just have a look at the income actually. 80 to 20, 44 to 20. Oh shit, actually that's really bad for me. I mean, I do have early vehicles out, but good force command coming out. But my opponent is probably gearing up to take up a bit himself now actually. Fortunately, I will be able to do quite a bit of damage with these Reaver jet bikes. Thank God for that. But my opponent getting overall better income than me, which kind of sucks. So I'm starting to claw my way back up. But we'll have to see if these Reaver jet bikes will be worth it or not. What was really not worth it was letting these Space Marines bloody decapture my points like that in my own base. Unfortunately, my own Hellions are not able to do that. But there you go. I suppose I did go for a bit more of a risky build, going with early Hellions and all that. I could have sent them instead to counter-attack the regular Space Marine squad that was coming up against them. But what can you do? What can you do indeed? At least these guys can actually decapture points pretty damn quickly, but there's not really anything to really decapture. At least nothing that doesn't need to be destroyed first, which kind of sucks. But well, at least I have my mandrakes to capture the crap out of stuff. And speaking of which, I think my opponent is going for tier 2. Yep, he is. I'm not going for tier 2 just yet. We've got another minefield being built, of course, right here. Supposed to still upgraded. This listing post, surprised hasn't been upgraded just yet, actually. And his mandrakes probably should be trying to capture this point instead, but oh well. What can you do? Instead of just trying to go straight for this point, I do have Hellions that could probably try to do a bit of damage as well, but well, screw it. These river jetbikes at least can take quite a bit of heavy bolter fire, which is I'm pretty sure what the listing post has on it, and I can retreat them pretty damn quickly as well, so I'll try to do the best I can. Servitor's going to be repairing, although because of the range on these river jetbikes I can just retarget the 2 Servitors, but nope, I'm not doing that. If I'm not careful I'll actually get one destroyed, and I managed to get him out of there. Nope. Unfortunately getting that one taken out. Bit of a grievous loss indeed. I am going for tier 2 myself. Hellions are going to be doing a bit of harassment as well, but there we go, the listing post has been upgraded, so I shouldn't have to worry about that too much. But yeah, as you can see, I'm going to be in a little bit of trouble. My Hellions are a little bit out of position, and actually managed to get 2 listing posts. Not listing posts, 2 crucial locations, I'll be damned. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky now. My Hellions, they're not on the battlefield, which means they should be trying to do some damage here, but as you can see, they're just getting torn to shreds instead. I think I might have another... Oh, maybe not. Instead of going for the Hole of Blood. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, I'll be switching to a bit of an infantry-based tactic. We'll see how my opponent will adapt today. He's going to be finishing tier 2 in just a second. Armory coming down, so he's probably going to be going for a mixture of heavy bolters and missile launchers, or maybe just going to go for pure missile launchers. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see what happens. Yep, there's the 3rd Reaver jetbike right there, just being made, should I say, and reinforcing Hellions coming in as well. So it's going to be a hell of a match of even building a slave chamber just to get in more Reaver jetbikes. Because if there's one thing I just can't get enough of, it's freaking Reaver jetbikes. There we go. At least the Hellions coming in to go straight after the. Even planting the tracker device. Interesting. Actually, come to think of it, why are these guys in range? That is incredibly bad microbombing, or maybe it's just a bug. I don't know. In any case, my forces unfortunately are getting decimated. The game is only half over though. Could still go either way. We'll see what happens, but unfortunately it looks like I probably won't be able to pull anything out of the hat here. We'll see what happens. River jetbike's doing the best they can to macro. Actually getting a radar. Oh, now that might actually be able to turn the tide if I can get the radar to demoralize, say, this squad of Space Marines or something. Maybe this squad of Space Marines actually, since they're bigger. Maybe, just maybe, especially if these ones happen to be near this force command, I might be able to make something work. So we'll see how that will work. There we go, here's the jump, and there we go. I managed to demoralize the Space Marine squads. The force commander doesn't actually take much morale damage, and of course these bastards do get the rally abilities as well with the fucking sergeant attach, actually. So unfortunately this raider probably going to get taken out. He's only got a single disintegrator can, but there we go. Here come the Hellions, a little bit too late unfortunately, which kind of sucks. Looks like I also used the... Really. Looks like I also used the track ability again on the force command. It doesn't make too much difference. More vehicles and all that coming out for me. It's going to be a very desperate game, especially with my opponents now having access to vehicles. They brought out his first vehicle being the Rhino transport, and yeah, it's going to be pretty hard for me to really do too much. I do have Scourges being upgraded with Dark Lancers. Thankfully the Dark Lancers are pretty cheap and all that, the Scourges themselves not exactly too cheap, so I think I should be able to take out the Rhino transports from range. There we go. But it's still a very desperate match, 92 to 30 compared to 116 to 20, so finally my income going above my opponents, but it's still anyone's game at this point really. Scourge is also coming in to try to do a bit of damage. I think I'm targeting the Rhino transport basically, and yeah, really need to get my Hellions the hell out of there actually. Go. Oh my god, what the hell are they thinking? And these guys are actually going to be upgraded almost exclusively with heavy bolters, I'll be damned. I wasn't entirely expecting that. And it looks like another squad of Scourges coming out as well, so... Ouch. It's looking kind of dire for me in terms of army counts, but at the same time I do have a slightly better economy, so we'll see how that will work out. My Scourge's just deciding not to jump in, I suppose, just deciding to hoof it, why not, and should be able to take out the random transport pretty quickly. Once I take it out, should be able to make my opponent that much less mobile, but unfortunately, as you can see, I'm losing quite a few things myself as well. I really should be teleporting these guys the hell out of it, or jumping them the hell out of it. There we go, finally I do. Just suffering a few losses here and there, thank God I managed to keep some of them safe, and now I've got warriors as well. But unfortunately, yeah, now my opponent does have quite a few troops on the ground, even without a transport. They're going to be pretty formidable against the Scourges. I'll have to keep them away from the Scourges if I want anything to be done with them. I actually do have an Archon squad coming out, so that should help to soak up damage for these Scourges. We'll see. Damn it, something in my eye again. We'll see what will happen though. It's been quite a frenetic game. It really is anyone's game at this point, I dare say so. Even playing shit back, not bad. Not bad indeed. I've got bloody warriors coming in, not bad. But Archon squad, once it comes in, should hopefully be able to do a bit of damage. Ouch, as for my guys, yes, yeah, they're going to suffer quite a bit until the bloody Archon squad comes out. Do you have another Raider squad, vehicle coming out, and what in God's name, really? Why did I just jump him in there? Am I actually going after, no, I'm not even going after the Rhino transport. I don't know what I was thinking of that. Shit, that's probably going to cost me the game right there and there, actually. That would have been quite a critical vehicle to use. Shit, indeed. So I still got the income advantage, except for power, funnily enough. Yeah, it'll probably be the final battle of the game, and to be honest, I don't really like my chances too much. We'll see what happens though, using the Animus Vitality on the guys here. I probably should jump these guys in actually. Unfortunately, my Archon squad almost getting entirely destroyed, managing to keep some guys off my Scourges, but unfortunately my Scourges are still, yeah, still getting torn to shreds though. And even got freaking Hellfire Dreadnoughts as well, so I'd say this is probably going to be it for my army here. Let's see if I can pull something out of my hat. Probably not. We'll just fast forward a bit. Seeing they just destroy my base slowly but surely. Warriors coming in, yeah, they're going to get taken out pretty damn easily. Although, oh, wait a minute, we've actually got, I don't believe it, we've actually got Scourges jumping in, which is probably something I should have done a little bit sooner, actually jumping these Scourges, but wow, if I can actually make this work, that would be incredible. Yep, my opponent last stroke is actually, he's actually retreating, I don't believe it. Oh god, not bad. So there we go, actually managing to do a bit of harassment. My Scourges managing to get opponent to lay off my base for just a little bit of a while. Unfortunately losing a Scourge squad in the process. Second squad not doing too well either, and yeah, not being able to do too much damage. Unfortunately the Mashik being kept alive just barely. These Scourges, yeah, they're going to get caught out. But still, that was an interesting little desperate maneuver by myself there. If I marked it a little bit better, maybe I might have been able to make that work. Unfortunately, all my Scourges are dead, all my army's dead. And me same goddamn transports, indeed. Indeed, I did make a couple of mistakes here and there, but yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. It has been a hell of a match, to say this. There we go, taking out the transport, but yeah, it's not going to make much difference. That guy will just get taken out. Do some Scourges, not taking from a distance, but yeah. Still though, an interesting game though. And I probably left at this point since the playback's over, so interesting game, going for a few minutes. Not sure if I'll combine this with the other game that I had there, given how relatively short this one was. We'll see what happens. Until next time though, this has been Dame Decisive signing off.